Button.
Button.
Hello everyone to Stormfront. I am your host, Nova. How's everyone doing?
Doing well. A bit tired.
Yeah, that's about me too. I only got about 3 hours of sleep last night. I am mostly a bit energetic right now because I am drinking a lot of caffeine to keep myself more awake.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a slightly sleep-deprived and caffeinated host today, which only leads to good things.
It usually leads to more chaotic things.
I swear I do my best work while sleep-deprived. Anyway. Today though, I have less opportunity to do chaotic things, or more, depending on how you look at it, because you've resolved most of the conflicts. Like, the tower is gone. You completed your defined mission, Ragnchild. You don't have anything you need to do right now as far as I know, Catangless.
I mean, the mission is mine as well.
Right, and that's completed now. Like, there's a nuclear fallout zone, but the nature spirits have made clear that will clear over time, and that they've considered it a success.
I took the Cobalt Dread.
Oh yeah, you took Dread. You have Dread for the next 8 hours, if I remember correctly, was the thing. Or until Zokorai next takes a long rest.
You have Cobalt Napped Dread.
Yep. Well, it was more in exchange, but yes. Beyond that, you have a wrecked ship, but it's not like you're stranded with nowhere to go. Because yes, you're lost in the middle of the woods, but I would like to point out, you do have some options for travel. First off, the ship has doors that connect to other places, particularly Sylvester's lair, and now there's actually a door that leads to Stormkeep Tavern, as per requested of everyone in the recent poll. Which is the inn that is ran by Royal Darkstar, which has been run in the background. But also, I will point out, in Sylvestro's lair, there's a permanent teleportation circle. So, you could use a teleportation circle to teleport to any city that you know the codes to their teleportation circle. So any city you've previously been in, they've recorded what their teleportation circle is, you can go there. So, you have ways to travel if you want to travel. You just don't have a big fancy airship right now.
Yay! Almost regular travel now.
Yeah.
Almost.
And worst comes to worst, if you can convince him, you could somehow convince Sylvester just to teleport all of you somewhere if you want that too. Because he doesn't know the teleports well. So.
It's Sylvester, I'm not surprised. Sorry.
Since I started in the other timeline, I was just curious, was the name of the beginning city the same
Yes.
for both timelines?
The city of Emplane is the same in both timelines, and the teleportation codes are the same.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yep. The teleportation circle codes do not change from timeline to timeline because the cities do not change. Some of the details in them change, but not the cities themselves.
Okay, cool. No.
Fun fact, that was the starting location for both timelines. It's just Timeline 1 left it pretty quickly, whereas Timeline 2 lingered around in it. And dealt with the Noble Sun stuff.
Yep.
For Timeline 1, I had to kind of shoehorn in that, oh hey, the Noble Sun's a thing, they found the ring, went neat, and mailed it back to the father, if I remember.
Oh my
Not our
goodness.
fault.
Oh, I know, I'm not blaming you, I'm just saying the approach of both of the squads was very different, and I appreciated that. But yeah, I have no plans for today, so in the spirit of the Sandbox campaign, the narrative today will be entirely driven by all of you. What would you like?
I eat the sand.
Sand? What sand?
You said it's the sand?
Oh! Cathangless make a dexterity save.
Ow!
First roll of the night. 23. Okay. A small blue portal appears above you. You manage to get out of the way, and a small miniature sandbox falls. Would have fallen on top of your head. There's your sand. You have a toy. You have a sandbox meant for a small child that would have fallen on you.
I mean, it can be Dex. He dodged it.
Yes.
They dodged it.
Yes. She? I don't know. I don't know what Cathang's gender is at this point. I don't care.
They.
Either. They. Okay. Would not be conscious health related. No, because this is to check if they can dodge a portal suddenly appearing above them, which they've gotten quite used to happening at this point.
Hi, Silvestro.
Hi, Silvestro. Hi, Eukaria. Hi, Finreal. All of them love to do that.
Right.
I think it's just the latest one.
Heck, Cathangless has gotten used to doing this now with their own portals.
Wait, what?
Fun fact, Cathangless has managed to transcend timelines and has appeared as the Echo Knight's Echo in Cyberpunk.
Burritos.
Take your time, Rydell. So, Alder, which is their character in Cyberpunk, whenever they summon their Echo from Echo Knight, it's now Cathangless is the Echo. Which is hilarious.
Ooh.
If you're wondering how that happened, Foxy, aka Zoro Lobo Hobo, in that campaign, he is a paladin and his patron is secretly Silvestro. And because of weird magical resonance nonsense that occurred when both Zoro and Alder touched each other, it caused a feedback loop, and this allowed Silvestro to reach out and touch Alder. Not in that way. And
Cathangless is just like, I'm going to.
yeah, and Cathangless just hits the right on that. Which
I love the instant, not in that way.
yeah. Which that's the reason why when Cathangless came out of a portal in your forehead, I said that was the second time they've done that, because they did it the first time in the Cyberpunk campaign.
Oh, I was very confused about that because I was like, was it something like super early on in Timeline 1 before I joined? Because I don't remember that happening.
No, it was something that
That's
happened
why
in an
it was-
entirely different D&D campaign.
Yeah.
Because the Silvestro in this one is the same as Silvestro in that one.
Because Great Worm Timeline.
Yeah, which
Stuff.
also leads to the weird implication that the Cyberpunk campaign is an alternate timeline of Kashraka, which Jaden has not confirmed or denied if that's the case, but it's an interesting possibility. Regardless, I went off on a tangent.
Let's see if we were in the middle of doing something. What was the last messages last time? Apparently reacting to Rattle getting something from his world. The Chronicler book.
Right.
Chronicle book.
Rattle went to the Room of Remembrance, or whatever the Harry Potter room is, and was looking for something to help him his situation in the world, and he found an artifact from his homeworld, which is the Chronicler book, aka the Book of Time, from Spyro. The book that details all of time. Room of Requirement, thank you. The Room of I don't care what it was called.
The Room of Rooms.
Yes. The Room of plot-induced MacGuffins. I don't know.
Every time I hear MacGuffin, I think McMuffin.
Now I'm hungry. I want a freaking McMuffin now.
Oh gosh.
Welcome to our streams. They're always like this.
Mm.
We can't hear it, but I'm sure Ragnachon is just giggling in the background.
Yeah, sorry, yes.
It's okay. You don't need to apologize for something that comes naturally. After all, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Chris.
I don't know who Chris is.
The one you laugh at.
Okay.
Sure. We'll move it with Jerry, but that works too.
No,
Yeah.
Firefox, I do not wish to auto-translate the YouTube page.
But
McDonald's can be a good option if you're trying to lose fat.
No!
I always forget it's in there.
you mentioning the Firefox thing just made me think of that. Kath makes a McMuffin. I would like to be a McCath. I don't think a thing was to try to imply that they are a McMuffin, but okay.
They don't know.
Why do I just imagine Cathanglis just randomly invents the McMuffin? He wants McDonald's, but he doesn't know what
Only if
McDonald's
they
is.
get bored and
Like, they want McDonald's, but they don't even know what that is. And so they invent it.
I forgot it. Is Dredd even conscious?
No. Dredd is
Okay.
currently unconscious.
Okay.
the Thangless did a savvy deal.
Yep. Basically, okay, so what's going on with Dredd is currently unconscious. They can be woken up. The reason why they're only with you guys temporarily is because they're a homuncular servant. Which, if you know anything about artificers, your homuncular servant is unmade every. It can be remade every time you take a long rest because it's an infusion, and you have to redo your infusions every long rest. Meaning that you have until Zokurai takes a long rest, because the moment that happens, Dredd will like disappear and then spirit itself back to Zokurai. Against his will.
It will poof back to Zokurai.
Yeah, basically. Because what will specifically happen is that the body will poof, and then the gem will fly off to Zokurai. But yeah. Because weird magical nonsense, I had to try and come up with an explanation. Also, during all this, you have a drunk sea captain who is currently passed out on the floor.
Alright, him.
He finally passed out from drinking too much. I think that's literally the first time it happens.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Second time.
Oh?
Second time.
Yeah.
I forgot the other. Sorry.
Wasn't it when he got into my stash? Or am I thinking of a different thing?
I think you're right.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, Kai Azure Black got into my godly alcoholic stash and just went into a coma from one bottle because godly rum is a whole other level compared to mortal rum. I mean, there's a reason why Nova is sometimes associated with Dionysus, aka the Greek god of wine. Granted, that's unfounded because they're not the same person, but, you know, they both love to party, so there's that. Anyway.
We
Right.
tried to show the others about the room I had found.
Ah, okay. If you try to bring anyone into that room, you will be unable to find the door because they cannot enter that specific room. You do not know why, but the door will not appear when you are trying to lead others to that room.
And now imagining Rado being extremely confused about, but it was there!
Yeah, I like to imagine this is like a thing that takes 10 minutes of just them going back and forth, trying to bring people here, failing. Also, the Slay the Spire characters are here. I want to point that out.
Yep. Oh, right. Thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome.
Ah, the token got borked. Why is it Clocksworth token with a different image? That's a genuine question. I don't know what the hell happened there.
I don't know what happened either, but...
That's just funny.
Oh, I think I know what you might have done. Maybe did you tie... you said represents character Clocksworth. You have to click represents character and then defects character.
Represents character. Okay, I guess I'll try to find it.
If you go into token settings, token settings.
Okay.
Which, if you want to know how to find that, when you click on the token, you see a little gear in the bottom left.
Oh, okay.
That's where you get the token settings. And then there's represents character. You just click, and then you just drag it over to the tactile face.
I do not see a represents character field in the token settings.
All right, let me. Maybe I'll go ahead and do it since I'm here, because I can see it. It might just be because I'm in DM mode. See? There.
Ah, okay.
Odds are yeah.
I mean, the health and the armor class is wrong, but now it at least says it's defect.
Mm-hmm. I will slowly change change them.
Yep, it's not like combat's gonna happen. 5 minutes later, suddenly combat. No.
Would our group
The
say
McMuffins are angry.
No,
the McMuffins are angry?
Oh no, did they find the muffin button again?
Muffin button.
Life and death are one thread, the same line for difference. Cathanglis the First. Thank you, King Cathanglis the First. Those wise words help defuse situation. As always. Whenever I hear about King Cathanglis the First, I just imagine Asgore from Undertale.
Wasn't that the inspiration?
No, it's not bad that's the inspiration, because Asgore's a great character. Yes, Rattle, you are annoyed by it not appearing, and I apologize for that, but them's the rules of the place. So, what do you all want? What's the general atmosphere of the setting?
I'm okay.
I'm now just confused about disappearing doors in Silvestro's airship of all things. Well, no, actually, now that I spent 1 second thinking about it.
Yeah, and Sylvester's head appears out of the wall and says, I mean, come on.
Don't ask
It's
questions.
it's my ship. And yes, what Cathanglis said, don't ask questions. And then he just disappears back in the wall.
Fine, I'll try not asking questions.
Where's the line? Don't ask questions you're not ready to hear the answer to.
You hear a little voice. You hear a little voice in your mind, Clarksworth, that chips in and says, "You were always the inquisitive one."
Another hand has touched the beacon.
Meridian, get your ass out of here! You don't love what
Everything
D&D
Cathanglis does. That one would Chippy's Cathanglis does. You just hear another hand has touched the beacon.
And then you hear the
God.
sound of a shotgun as I shoot the beacon.
The beacon!
Not Cathanglis, the beacon. Because I'm not going to harm Cathanglis, but I will harm the beacon because I hate that beacon. Anyway.
Oh, you want to go to M-Plane, Rattle?
Yeah. If you go to Sylvester's lair, there's a permanent teleportation circle. You could use that to teleport back to M-Plane. Hey, does everyone want to go on a road trip to M-Plane? Oh yeah, and there's also just a door on the ship that connects to the tavern at M-Plane, which, fun fact, is the tavern from Timeline 2.
Oh,
Oh.
I never went the other door of the tavern. I always thought it was the magic capital. Oops.
There's a door to the tavern, there's a door to the magic capital. They're both in Sylvester's lair, which now means they're both in the ship.
Wait, there's a door to the magic. I don't even. What? Okay.
Wasn't that a thing?
don't
All I
think
heard
so.
him ask is, "There's a door to magic," and then cuts out.
A door to magic.
I
don't
heard you
think-
cut out, just like, "There's a door to magic." Sylvester, please don't. I mean, Clocksworth, please don't no-clip.
I like how Clocksworth is into so much nonsense now that you're confusing them with Silvestro.
Oh my god.
All I know is there's a high chance of Clocksworth to no-clip. I do not know why, but this is a case.
I mean, Clocksworth did literally kill themselves by over-preparing, so... At this point, they'll put anything beyond their capabilities.
Yeah, I love the idea of Clockwork has so much nonsense going on right now that.
Also, I will point out, because Clocksworth doesn't fully know how soul bonders work, everything they're saying is in stereo, as it's coming out of both them and Defect right now.
I thought we covered that last session.
Oh, did we fix that?
I thought I asked Katangless to help for that because I was like, yeah, I know.
Katangless legit, their reaction was bapping and then just. Dude,
What?
no.
Okay, I forgot that. I am glad I got that reminded. Anyways,
Well,
yeah.
What boys? You guys never met that noble then, real, I guess. But
No
I
one's
was
even with
thinking-
us.
Huh? Well, I know him. I've met him before.
Yeah, as well as the butler.
Thinking,
Charles.
Yeah.
If I've ever heard.
Charles, yeah, the one with the artificer arm.
The one with the
yeah.
mechanical arm.
Uh-huh.
The best thing
Yeah.
about this is you start talking about Charles. Cathaglus's eyes do the Spamton thing where it's just like that one cutscene where he's thinking and his eyes like turn to stag for a second. Just like that's Cathaglis just like processing. No, don't know.
Really likes shorts. Kind of funny guy.
Charles
But anyway,
Charles Pensley, aka the butler I vaguely based off of that
Youngster
one.
Joey?
No. I didn't base it off Youngster Joey. Why would you think?
Because like when I hear he really likes shorts, I think of that one line.
Oh, the shorts comment. No. Why is the thing that you remember about Charles that he likes shorts? Were you looking at his shorts a lot while you were around him?
he's a butler wearing shorts. It's
Yes.
strange, but it's because he's a monk.
Yes.
Anyway,
By the way,
Ooh, a monk butler.
here is the picture of the dude for everyone in Timeline 1.
Yeah, I literally never
showed
went
me.
to M-Plane, so
Yeah.
well,
Fun.
I have. So listen, this is what I'm thinking.
why did it not show up for me? I'm not even in DM mode. That's weird.
It's in D&D 5e official sessions text chat.
Ah, I'm dumb.
It's okay. Anyway, let Ragnarchild finish. Ragnarchild,
What
continue.
I'm thinking. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for real. We should go and talk to the noble and everything about what's going on with Zokurai. Okay? Because listen, we convince the government that there's a real threat. The government doesn't want the city to be destroyed, right? Or the world or whatever. They pay us to take care of the problem. Yeah, we get funds. We can fix our ship. And then we can go after Zokurai. What do you think?
Sylvester pipes up and says, there's 2 problems with that plan.
There's 3.
3? Okay, what's the third one?
The
You
problem
don't know
is,
what the
I made a promise.
Yeah.
He can easily wipe our asses. And for right now, we're on his good graces.
There's 3 problems to this plan. Number 1, Cathaglos made an agreement to not interfere with his plans in return for having Dread.
As long as he doesn't
2.
do anything worth risking his life.
2, I'm sorry, but despite how powerful you all are, you would still be wiped by him in his current form, Sylvester says. And
Silvestro, even you know I can't.
yes. And 3, Even if you could somehow take him, going to M Plane and telling them about it wouldn't do anything because he's already on the government watch list, given the fact that he's openly called out the mercantile faction for their conspiracy.
Oh, he did? I was unaware of that one.
All of you were, and then Silvestro makes a major image, uses the major image spell on the screen, and you get to see a public announcement that Zokurai just recently made to all of the cities. He basically made a public announcement to all of the cities in Guardiana.
Damn it, Zerky!
Oh!
And it's basically... Would you like details on what you are seeing on the screen currently?
Yes!
Alright, so you see the new armored body of Zokurai, aka this giant construct he pulled out of the bottom of the area, currently still dripping with delirium mist coming off of it, made out of adamantine and dwarven metal. Actually, not adamantine and dwarven metal. Adamantine and dwarven metal. It's currently standing there in what appears to be a very dark room with glowing purple mist coming off of it, and it speaking in a low robotic voice. I am Zokurai Tensha. I know what you've done. I know the wool you pulled over their eyes for years. And I now have the capability to actually stop that. This will be slow, and I will not force it. But I will let the public know about your conspiracy, mercantile faction. With this spell that I am casting across the nation, will be enclosed a few documents. These documents will show the general public what you have done to history. You're not off the hook either, Lord Faction. Know that the Luminescents are your allies and the Mercantiles are your enemies. And if they try to stop me, I will kill anyone who gets in my way. And then the message ends. He basically declared war on the Mercantile Faction. Is what Sylvester says. He effectively declared war on this Mercantile Faction.
Okay.
So we don't need to stop him. Maybe we need to join it. I don't know.
I could stop him, I can kill him, but I don't want to do either.
Sylvester comments and says, Ragnarchild, this is at this point dealing with politics, not an area I specialize in. So I would not know what the right course of action is here. I just suggest that you all stay out of it for now.
As long as he doesn't kill himself.
With that, Sylvester disappears back into the wall and leaves you all to discuss this on your own. I disappear from the group without realizing for issues. It's dark. Yeah, there's also that too. That Rattle literally couldn't fight Zokurai because the Dark Slash Ethereum would corrupt Rattle just by being near the guy. Because Rattle is very sensitive to this stuff.
I hate this.
Also,
I think I like this.
You like it, you hate it. Rattle didn't hear any of it because they had already walked through the door and gone into their inn, and so they missed all that.
In character, I think it would be like, okay, well, I guess we don't need to go to him. Where's Rattle?
Not the point. Even if we try, I don't know what to do. I could save him, but that would just be proving his right.
What do you mean?
I'm-
proving them right about what? I don't know a lot of this stuff.
Me neither.
To put it one way, this is honor.
Yeah, well, I'm just a confused old lady, so whatever you guys want to do, you just, you've got my support. I'm here to help you out.
Glad to hear.
I'm trying to learn how to be a monk, so, you know, there's no kind of thing for me.
I mean, if you need, I can always teach you.
I'm ready. I just gotta get a chance to practice. But you guys think that it's gonna be too hard to punch through Zokurai's armor, so maybe not.
No. I know exactly how to get through to him, but what's the point? For all I know, this could make him more mad.
Sometimes people don't like to be forced to change.
I could have been there.
Also, out of character, I imagine this also is partially causing PTSD for Cathanglus due to being similar to what happened with Mind Fingers.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, that partly explains why Cathanglus is upset. Okay, I'm getting back in character now.
I was
Interesting parallel.
Yeah, I was genuinely wondering, would that be similar to when Lion Fang finally flipped his shit at the start of the first war, and then you made a comparison? I'm like, then I guess probably.
No, this is a comparison to before he even came to the world of Kashraka, back when he and Varys fought and broke Strixhaven in half.
Oh.
Because of Varys striking him down and Cathanglus not wanting anyone to die that day. That's the PTSD I'm talking about for Cathanglus. Because Cathanglus wasn't there for the first war. So why would he have PTSD about the first war?
Right. I
Could have stopped
those are two
him.
different things.
Then what?
Cathanglus, don't blame yourself. The best that says that, by the way. You should not take the burden of the world upon your shoulders. I know you can take it, but you should not force yourself to.
What good is having all this power if I can't use it right?
What good is using all of this power if it only leads to things getting marginally better? Wait and use your power when it's actually most needed, and not every single time it can be good.
I hate
And-
that you're right.
Besides, you've been through a lot, good thing. All of you have been through a lot. You all deserve a rest. Just, for once, let this play out a bit. Out of character, apologies if you hear that in the background. Rob is watching a football match in the other room. And is very loud.
Oh, I thought it was a dog.
Nope, that was Rob cheering about a bad play in football. I could barely hear it because I have my headphones on, so I heard it less than all of you did, probably. Also, if you're wondering what's happening in Roll20 chat, I was detailing what Rattle was seeing through the door, because he's currently in his inn.
Yeah.
So. By the way, Cathanglus, when would you like Dread to wake up?
Anytime.
I just didn't want to interrupt the conversation, because I wanted you all to genuinely have
Oh, no.
Okay. Dread begins to stir at this point.
Hi.
Dread reverts back from his clockwork dragon form back down to the form of a kobold, because I believe they were still in clockwork dragon last I remember.
You're awake.
Dread grumbles and says, better not be on the cards again.
Not again.
Hello.
Not yet.
Hello. What is it that you want to know?
Are you okay?
About as much as I can be. You can quite clearly tell that Dread is depressed, but is trying not to show it. Like, they've accepted the fact of their situation. It's kind of the demeanor they have as they start to stand up and dust themselves off.
I feel like if I could have.
You did everything you could do.
I find it debatable.
On the bright side, I can assist you for at least a little bit while I am here. Is there anything I can help with any of you while I am still here? I'm not as good at artificing as my master, but I picked up a little bit while I was around. And Dread slowly looks around everyone.
No
No,
thanks,
no, wait.
kid. I'm a druid. I don't go in for much of that artificing stuff. Unless it's from my grandson.
Oh, I'm a druid too. And he would turn into a large mechanical deer.
What?
They're also a druid.
I'm a Circle of the Forge druid. It's a druid circle meant for constructs. I can turn into various constructs as well as robotic versions of animals. It's kind of cool. I could teach you how to do it too if you want to know.
You're gonna teach me how to turn into a robot?
Yeah, I can also teach you how to get some like steel skin in your noble form if you want some to add added protection onto you.
No offense, kid, but that sounds awful.
Well, I wouldn't know. I've had it my entire life. I've never known what it's like to have organic, squishy flesh. No offense.
None taken. Okay. I'm glad we understand each other.
And Dread the deer slowly walks towards you and nuzzles your head a little bit with it.
Look out there. Don't let Linda see you. She's a jealous little girl.
I'm not sure. I'm just going to assume Linda is currently sleeping. Going to assume that since Kayana is not here. By the way, Kayana went ahead and told me that she would not be able to make it this session, so I knew ahead of time she would. So, yeah, and you could tell Dread is a little bashful about that. It just kind of backs off a little bit nervously.
No sense to be ashamed of your own talents.
I don't like to boast that much. Yeah, I'm not like my master in that regard.
You know, but then you probably know all your master's secrets, right? Yeah.
I
Yeah?
was there for most of them, so yes. What is it that you
Oh.
want to know?
Oh, does he pee in the shower? That's what I'm. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just joking you.
It has been years since Master last took a shower.
Oh, gross! Oh my!
His armor automatically cleans his body whenever he wears it.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
You gotta look
So-
out of character. You gotta look Prestidigitation, the spell that can just let you clean yourself on a whim.
As a cantrip.
As a cantrip.
I just like how Cathagos, knowing the outcome of that, is just giggling.
Yeah. So,
Oh, reminds me.
yeah,
They used to
unironically,
make
one
that.
of the features of Zokorai's armor is that anytime he puts it on, it automatically casts Prestidigitation on himself to clean himself. Just a feature he put into his armor. I find that funny. Anyway, sorry, continue, Ragnar. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I don't know. I was gonna say, I remember there was a young man, and he was like kind of one of them these itinerant wizard we used to call him. Anyway, he would come through our village, and he'd smell awful, and we used to ask him the same thing, like, don't you just got a spell for that kind of thing? And he would say, oh no. He'd say, I want them to smell my natural musk. And we were like, oh, buddy, your natural musk ain't doing you no favors. But then he had some wild idea about this was going to get him a lot of girlfriends. I don't know. But
Defect gives a small laugh just because Clocksworth laughs, but he also turns his head in confusion and points and says, I wouldn't know, because I've never smelled anything. I don't have a nose. I can't actually
Oh.
smell things.
So nobody knows.
That was a horrible pun, Cathanglas.
Oh, I know. But you don't knows.
Oh my god. I am too tired.
Should
to
I
laugh
see
at
myself
this
out?
fun.
Maybe. I haven't decided yet.
Dread begins to walk away.
No, you come back here.
Dread continues to walk faster away.
You can't escape the Cathagos.
I was laughing too hard. Why is he going away?
Because Dread said, should I see myself out? And Cathanglas said, maybe.
And so he did.
And then Cathanglas
Cathagos is appropriately being a dick right now.
yes. And Dread is having none of it. I like to imagine you try to grab Dread and Dread just turns into a giant poisonous snake to get away. So it's harder to grab.
I've hugged more snakes than you think.
Yes, but I'd like to see you hug a steel snake covered in thorns.
It's Catangless. He's going to try anyways.
If you do, you're going to take piercing damage. Go ahead.
Thank you. Freaking Surtur just said what I was about to say. It's like, reminder, this is Cathagos.
Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if you try to hug this snake, you're going to take magical piercing damage.
Are they immune? No, they're not.
You're immune to non-magical, that's why I specified magical.
I think they're just
I've been around this
resistant.
werewolf boy often enough that I know of his werewolf antics.
I think I'm just resistant to magic.
Yeah, they're resistant to magical. They're a werewolf in both the cyberpunk and here. They always end up a werewolf.
Ironically, in
okay-
another game.
I'm okay with. Sorry, go ahead.
Would it help that if in another campaign I accidentally turn into a were-kitsune?
It just proves my point further.
They take the role of fluffy friend.
I do not mind. Anyway. Oh god, this is the bigger thing of the one. Before you can actually chase after Dread, Cathanglas, there is
Yeah, thank
actually... Go ahead.
Thank you for actually knowing that I was doing that, like, in character, not even jokingly.
Yeah. I'm aware that you're doing that in character. A person walks up and puts their hand on your shoulder. You turn around to see who it is.
I turn around.
It is Ironclad, aka the man with the orange mask. The demon individual.
Yes.
Remember the one that you heard the villager Vexer?
Good thing is his reaction is just, yes.
I hear your friend has marched off to war for a cause he believes in, yes?
Yes.
Given you had freed me from my curse, I see no reason for me not to give you my blade as well. And perhaps it is more adamant to focus on that rather than the hijinks here.
If I don't focus on the hijinks.
With that, though, when Ironclad says that, he gets smacked in the head by Watcher with the quarterstaff.
What?
And then he reacts that way, too. So he turns around and goes, what? And then she just kind of looks at him with her eyes closed. She just kind of stares at him and then waves with her quarterstaff to follow her and then just kind of sits down and silent in a soft voice, who hasn't spoken to us, says, she wants you to stop being such a combat-oriented hard-ass. Translate what the Watcher said. That's why she bopped you in the head with a quarterstaff. Ironclad said, I'll stop caring about combat once I'm finally dead. And then he sits by the campfire with the other two, the Watcher and the Silent.
I promise you, sometimes letting loose is the only way that you don't truly feel trapped inside yourself.
See, the difference is, I never control myself, Ironclad says. There's never a time where I am not let loose.
I know if I'm let loose, a lot more terrible things happen.
Ironclad doesn't ever react to that. He just looks back towards the campfire. Which, by the way, Dragon Child, Surtur, Chica, would you like me to remind you what these three characters look like?
Sure.
I am personally fine, but that's probably not a surprise.
That's not a surprise because you know the original subject matter. I will send pictures for the other three. For those watching the stream, if you suddenly hear Dark Souls sound effects in the background, that's because I'm using my web browser.
I forgot.
Yes. Also, I just realized something. My chat window went away in my OBS, so I can't actually see if anyone's chatting. Hold on. Where is my chat window?
Oops.
So if anyone was talking, I could not hear them. Okay, it appears like no one is talking currently, but that is odd.
Darn you, OBS updates!
Alright. Darn you. Alright, so first we have pictures of the Silent. Which I'll post in the same place I posted the Charles picture. That is the girl known as the Silent. We have the Watcher. Which, for those who do not remember, yes, these are characters I pulled from another game, specifically Slay the Spire. Because I really like that game. Or rather, Fenrir pulled it from that game, but yeah. Oh, general reminder for those who are watching this stream but did not watch the Cyberpunk stream. There was recently a bit of a shift in personality for me, and I'm going by a different name now. For the most part, the content will not change, though. So, audience at home, you don't need to worry about it. If you want more details, come join the Discord server. I'll be free to tell you more. Anyway, here is the Watcher, aka the one I accidentally called Purple Lady and confused Cayenne the heck out of with. Because Cayenne is often called the Purple Lady, aka Yukari. I confused the heck out of her with that. And then Ironclad. I actually have 3 pictures of this individual.
3?
Yeah, because there's 3 bits of official art I want to. And here's Ironclad. Any questions? Ragnarsson, Sheikah, Rattle?
Nice, good.
Okay.
Why is he wearing headphones?
Because that's the cover image for the Slay the Spire OST, aka original soundtrack. If you ever put like the original soundtrack into a media player that shows album covers, it'll show this picture. I'm not there, so I can't give my judgment. You are able to look at the D&D 5 official session section chat, and this is out of character, me reminding people what they look like, because you've seen them. They were on the boat while you were there, so you can go look at them, Rattle. Also, yes, Rattle is still in the inn that they were in. I just realized it in 3 times in a row. But they would like to go to the inn. That's in the inn.
I need to go back to my church.
Right, your church. That is also a place you can access.
I need to spread my worship.
Which I guess you've gotten a new member now. Yay.
I think more than one.
I mean, if you count Clarksworth and Defect as 2 separate people, yes.
And Ragna.
Oh, I already considered Ragnar a member of the church. By the way, Ragnar, have you been briefed on the church that Cathanglis is running?
Yes, but it was a while ago. It was quite some time ago at this point, so.
Known as the Church of the Astral
yeah,
Fire.
either way. Yes.
I sadly do not have a map that corresponds to the church, but if you give me a second, I might be able to find something that can... Sure. How about this one? Alright, I found what looks to be some ruined temple grounds if you want me to use those, Cathanglis, or do you want me to find something better?
You're telling me?
Yeah. Because I'm asking, because I was trying to find a map for us to use for the interior of the church, because I know we have a description, but we don't have a map. Represent it. And I was wondering if some temple grounds, like some ruined temple grounds, would be good enough as a map.
Yes. I think I gave a description of it. Also, I got more. I thought I got a lot of recruitments from the guards.
Yeah, alright.
You got
no.
You got volunteers, but no one's actually gone through the ritual to join the church.
I got Barratrus's army, basically. I got that faction.
You got the ally of the luminescence. You have the luminescence allied with you. That's what it is.
But even then, that was like Gonna see it out.
Yeah, and currently they're busy because Zokurai just labeled them as allies to his cause in his public message, if you remember. Which, thanks Zokurai for literally drawing the line in the sand and ousting and basically throwing the luminescence under the bus. I'm sure you helped relations between them and the Mercantile faction so much. Yes, Rattle, give me a second. I was making a comment on something.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't think of it until now, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they didn't necessarily agree with Zokurai's message, but I don't think he cared.
It's Zokurai once after he stopped giving a shit about most things. I don't think that's one of the few things he would care about.
Yeah. Also, yes, Raldarkster, I know there are D&D church maps on Google, but also I have limited image size storage on Roll20 because I don't have Pro, and I don't want someone over here buying me Pro stares at the thing that's pulling up.
Do not tempt me!
I am specifically telling you not to do it.
Eh?
This is not reverse psychology. Literally, do not buy a monthly subscription for me. Do not do that. Anyway, it's quite alright, Rattle. You had the best of intentions with your suggestion. It just does not work for my current situation. Cathangless making Cathangless noises. Yes.
Ah.
Alright.
No.
Would everyone like to head to his church?
I guess.
Foxworth, you've
Maybe I
kind
could
of
try.
unironically, you've kind of accidentally been made a member of it. Because anyone with an Aetherium crystal inside of their body is officially a member of the church, whether they were officially initiated or not. Because you went through the initiation to get it, even though you didn't know that would cause that. Because it wasn't intentional, but it still happened anyway. Alright.
Oh god, I'm in two churches at once. At least they don't seem to hate each other.
Yes, they're actually officially allies.
And they have Taco Tuesdays.
I was unaware
Yeah,
of Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's not as bad as being technically both a Luminescence and a Mercantile faction member.
Yeah, alright, so Cathang, let's go ahead and drag everyone's tokens out here that want to join the church. Rattle, are you coming as well?
Oh, okay, over there. Woo. No, I still haven't changed the fucking token for class.
I'm not there, so I'm not there. Right, but have you come back yet, Rattle? Is more my question. Like, are you planning on just abandoning them and staying at the inn for the next few sessions? Like, what are you doing? Because if you want to do that, that's fine. Just let me know that's what you're doing. I have no problem with that. Yeah, I know. You don't need to sit there while they're repairing, because you can hire people to repair things for you. That's why you have employees. They meant to do the work for you. I was about to say servants, but you're not noble.
Why was I about to sing "Oh Canada" but to "Oh Manual Labor"?
That's hilarious. Because it's hilarious. Yeah, I would head with them. Okay. So, all of you find yourselves in a relatively dilapidated, rundown church. However, it does have a stairwell leading down, and you see a bright blue glow coming out of the stairwell leading down. It's not subtle at all. And it's the same glow as Aetherium. This is the exterior of the Church of the Astral Fire, which we have not actually shown for a while.
To be fair, it wouldn't be that good if anyone can see it from the outside, Beauty. You need to look from the in.
Right.
The thing sounds like they are speaking in riddles, but no, they know what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. So, Doggo scratches upstairs. I'll be muted for a few minutes. Alright. Then I would head with, What should we have here? So I'm drawing that crystal. I mean, to be fair, Rattle, this is the good crystal, not the bad crystal. But yeah.
Yeah, this is the good one.
But there is still the issue if they can become overloaded with power. Same way Radix can.
I feel like the Cathangos keeps on forgetting. It's like, oh right, that's an issue.
Yeah, that's the same reason why they couldn't go into the Spire, if you remember. And also why they had to distance themselves from you.
Cathangos is completely unaware.
Yep. By the way, for those who do not remember or just never knew, there is actually a text chat that corresponds to this church, and everything that went on in that text chat is canon. So there's a Church of the Astral Fire text chat where you can talk and interact and stuff in sessions. The last time we have spoken in there was back in April.
I do want to use it again.
Well, now you have an excuse to. Yeah. Man, it's been a while. I haven't been in here. Cathangless, would you like to either write or say out a description of what the inside of the church looks like?
Where's the old description?
I can dig it up if you want.
Yes, please. Because it's been a while, brain.
Whenever I hear that, I just think of the song. It's been a while since I did to see your smile and I don't know the lyrics to that song. I just always hear that song go into my head whenever someone says it's been a while. Describe the place. Oh, a room with... Your description is, a room with rows of chairs and mythical statues with a brazier glowing blue next to a statue with a large geode of Aetherium set in the astral realm with a starry look.
I like how it kept the O!
That was your description, because I asked you for a description, and you just... That was your description. Also, I like how, after all that done, just Yukari just immediately goes into song of "Welcome to the church, do-da-da-da-da-da, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah." It's like, really? Okay. I tell you, it sure feels nice to be near Aetherium and to always live in town, right? It feels like a cleansing flame through your body, literally in this case. So, I get to tell you about something fun now, and do you know what that is?
Yes?
The regional effects of having large amounts of Aetherium in a given location.
Do I have to learn this from later?
Yes, because this is happening to your church.
Are you going to tell me later, or should I write it down now?
No, I'm going to tell everyone right now, and I want you to write it down. So, it will be on the test later. Well, it won't be on the test later, but the point is, you're going to have to remember this, because this is going to be a thing that will get worse over time. Right now, it's not very noticeable, but it will get more intense over time, especially as you get more Aetherium into place. But you've noticed something interesting about the Aetherium geode in here, Cathangless, and that is that it's actually grown since last time you were here. It's actually gotten a bit bigger.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, just like delirium, Aetherium can also grow over time, but it grows like a wood, aka very slowly. But it does grow if you give it enough time to sit there, which is a lesser version of the property where it can integrate into someone. That's why if you have someone with Aetherium or delirium in them for a long time, it will just replace more and more of their body with the crystal. Unless properly housed in a corresponding material like transpods. Clocksworth, while you're here specific... actually, no, sorry. I was describing regional effects. Let me go ahead and finish those. So, regional effect number 1. Anyone who is within the vicinity of Aetherium, anyone who is within a 1 mile radius of the Aetherium geode, and is within the good graces of the church, is automatically given resistance to psychic damage. Anyone who is not in the good graces of the church is given vulnerability to psychic damage. You have that written down, Thinglis? And that is a
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If not in good graces, becomes vulnerable.
Yep. Vulnerability to psychic damage. But if they are in good graces, then they're resistant. And that has a 1 mile radius.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For those wondering, by the way, the geode in here is about 20 pounds of Aetherium.
It grows up so fast.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It seems like someone has actually added more Aetherium to here last time. Like, it's grown, but it shouldn't have grown this much. Meaning, you suspect someone physically came and put more Aetherium here. But 20-pound, mile-wide regional effect. Dang, that thing is strong. Yes, Aetherium is very potent. Also, Cathanglas, given you are the head of the church, you have a certain set of powers you can access while within the inner sanctum of the church. And would you like to know what those are? They are threefold.
And I wrote that down?
Yeah. There are 3 powers that you gain access to while you're within the inner sanctum of your own church. Only you do. No one else in the actual church does, unless you willingly choose to extend it to them. But if you do so, you lose access to it, and they gain access to it, so... Anyway, are you ready for number 1?
Yes.
While you are within the inner sanctum of the church, as in near the geode, you can passively read the minds of any unshielded mind within a 1 mile radius.
Read the minds of any unshielded.
Within a 1 mile radius. Number 2. While you are within the inner sanctum, you can use the geode to track the location of anyone whose Aetherium is tied to the geode or the church, regardless of plane of existence or distance. So basically, while you're near the geode, you can track their location precisely just through the Aetherium in their chest that is connected to the geode.
So while within, I can use the geode to track anyone tied to the church.
Anyone with Aetherium in their chest. Or head in Clockwork's
Oh,
case.
not just tied to the church.
Well, they... Yes. They have to be tied to the church and have Aetherium, is what I'm saying. So, for example, the random employees that work for the church don't count because they don't have Aetherium in them. Does that make sense? There's 2 criteria for you to track them.
But still, regardless of plane and distance.
That's the big thing. The only downside of it is you need to be near the geode, so if you go try and pursue that person, you'd suddenly lose tracking of them again. So it's more useful if, like, you're sitting near the geode and then communicating with someone who's trying to track them down. You know. Or,
Where's
you know...
Clocksurf? There he is.
Right. Or, you know, you can just pull the simulacrum trick, because you know simulacrum.
There's nothing stopping me from having a simulacrum near it.
Or you be near it and send a simulacrum out to go track them down, is what I was actually thinking. But yes, either one works. Speaking of Clockwork, actually, that's a good thing. Clockwork, your Aetherium is not yet tied to the geode. You have not officially been sanctioned into the church yet.
Neither has Ragna.
Neither has Ragna. So neither of them are currently under that effect, but once they go through the official sanctum ceremony, they can. Which, by the way, that brings me to number 3. You now gain access to a new 9th level spell called Sanctum of the Astral Fire, which you can cast once per day for free on willing participants. Up to 9 at a time.
Free once per day. Cast on up to 9 willing participants.
Yes.
Oh!
It is based off of the Sanctum of the Fallen Fire, if you know that one from Drakenheim. But basically, the Sanctum of the Astral Fire can allow you to connect people's crystals to the geode and give them some beneficial effects as a result. Give them some beneficial effects, but also officially tie them to the church as a result of that.
Connect people's geodes to the...
Go ahead.
Can connect people's Aetherium to the geodes, right?
Yep, to the geode. There's one geode. And specifically, the geode has a name.
Of course the geode has a name. I've been calling it a name.
Well, its official title is the Aetherium Heart. At least that's what I call it. What do you call it?
I called it the Forge of Aether.
Forge of Aether. That works too. There's no reason it can't have multiple names. So, would you like to know the benefits of having your Aetherium tied to the geode?
Yes.
1, obviously, now you can be tracked with the one regional effect. But 2, regardless of distance, you can always find your way back to the church. Regardless of distance and dimension. Like, you'll always feel a tug in a certain direction, and that direction corresponds to the closest route to get back to the church.
No, not Finway to church.
No. Also, yeah, target yourself and a friend. That does work, Clockwork, yes. So they can make a simulacrum, Cathangos can make a simulacrum of themselves and a simulacrum of Clockwork at the same time.
If they have twin spell, I don't know if they do.
Yes. Also, welcome back to the realm of the voice chat.
Yeah, I figured it might not be super fun to just hear scratching from upstairs.
That's fine. I am confused on how the church reacts to me. The church is not sentient. It does not have a reaction. Which for...
I mean...
Good.
I mean, you never know with Ethereum.
Yeah, I was about to say, it is Aetherium, so that is kind of a big question. Chooch.
Chooch.
I'm sorry, Cathangos. That just made me laugh.
That's their word.
Ugh. I almost would be choking my own spit. Okay. As for how you react to it, Rattle, you feel two things by being near the church. Number one, actually, you feel three things, Rattle, by being near the church. One, it feels like a very calming warmth is washing over you. Similar to sitting around a campfire with loved ones eating family dinner, is how it feels to you, Rattle. Like, it's a very, very comforting sort of warmth that is seemingly emanating from the inside of this church. No, Cathanglis.
I'm just making sure.
Number two, Rattle, you also feel a upwelling surge of energy within you, as if this place is a battery of incredible potency. It has within it a solidified version of the Aether Pools from Spyro, if you remember what those are. And thus, it is a potent energy source for a dragon such as you. Number three, you willingly feel that if you wanted to, and if you accidentally touched the geode, a shard of it would break off and go into you. Like, if you accepted it, it seems like the Aetherium wants to be inside of you, Rattle. Because of your body being a natural tuning fork for it. Like, it's already chosen you. It's just waiting for you to be willing, is kind of the sense you're getting. Those are the three quote-unquote reactions that you are having to the church. Is at least the things that you're feeling. How your character actually reacts is up to you. But those are the three things that you're feeling in character. Anywho, enough for me expositing. Be not afraid. Okay, biblically accurate Cathanglis.
You don't want to see biblically accurate Cathanglis.
I've seen.
The hell does that mean?
I've seen biblically accurate Cathanglis. He snaps Strixhaven in two.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was the reference to biblical. Okay, that makes sense now.
Well, it was certainly a divine act.
Fair enough. Fun fact: as a player, we recently had to go through what happened in Strixhaven.
Yep. Rattle, I am actually checking on your question because I'm not sure the context. Yes, the very same crystal. It is this very same crystal around the Chronicler's neck. And I will actually post a picture in D&D text chat. This is the Chronicler that they're talking. Oh, I put it in Church Afterfire. Whoops, wrong chat.
I mean, that's where we are.
Yes, but I meant to post in the official session section. Here we go. This is what the Chronicler looks like, and that crystal that is hanging from his neck, I am calling Aetherium because it's the Spyro equivalent to it. By the way, that's also the dude that the book that Rattle has belongs to. He's known as
Okay, Ragnar Child is still alive. I saw her type.
Yes. I suspect that she was alive just dealing with her kids. Ragnarchild, that first one you posted, I first read as YOLO.
I mean, it's not too far.
Because in my brain registered that as YOLO, yeah. And I'm like, but that's not, it's supposed to be LOL. That's fine.
Correct.
Correct. Oh, there is another effect. There is a final regional effect, though, that I actually forgot to mention.
Mm.
Because remember, I said there was 3, and I said I only listed 2, because I listed the resistance thing, and then I listed the powers it gives you. But there's a 3rd effect. And would you like to know what that effect is, Sheikah?
Yeah.
While within the radius of the astral, anyone who shapeshifts or changes their form from their default will begin to glow with a ghostly mist that will reflect what their true form actually looks like underneath their shapeshifted form. Which does, Cathanglis, actually make you look like a void being.
Oh god, Cathagos looks terrifying now.
You look like a pitch black silhouette where a Cathanglis should be. Is basically what you look like well within the church.
Huh. That's weird.
With the only detail on you being the glowing blue crystal in your chest. Besides that, you are entirely pitch black. Like, it's beyond pitch black. It's as if there just isn't anything there at all. There's an absence of all color. But the human brain perceives that as black.
It reminds me a bit of what if a shadow would gain an Ethereum crystal?
Basically, yeah. It's a similar sort of thing to that. Notable other things. This does mean that if you wild shape while within the premises of this place, which, by the way, the premises is 1 mile, for this regional effect, well, if you wild shape well within 1 mile, it will show off what your original form is, but you can still wild shape. You just, you know, they can tell that you're a wild shape druid. This does have a nice benefit, though, if someone tries to sneak up on the church in, like, a shapeshifted form or whatever, they get exposed for being a shapeshifter.
False Catanglis walks up.
Right, which, the reason why Ethereum is doing that is it, quote, cuts through all falsehoods. Which is why that's the case. Also, Sheikah, actually, I just thought of something. You do have another power.
Hey.
You have a 4th ability that you can access while being attuned to the geode.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. While you are within the inner sanctum, you can force anyone within 1 mile of the geode to take a wisdom saving throw as if under the effects of Zone of Truth. And you will know if they pass or fail. If they fail, they must speak the truth and only the truth. If they pass, they may speak freely, but you know that they passed. And yes, people can willingly choose to fail, I will point out. Even if it's impossible for them to fail, they can still willingly choose to fail. I bring that up for people like Sylvester and Lionfang. You can't handle the truth. Alright. That's not on by default, that's only on if Cathanglis puts it onto them. Because I don't want to have an area where literally no one can lie, because that's boring. And also annoying for character dialogue. So I'd rather be a willing thing. Anywho. Yeah, I'm done expositing at this point. It's just freely for character interaction use.
I have to get back to work with this. Hopefully this can do what I need it to. Though I can test out my power.
Oh. Okay.
I did something but was waiting. Is the crystal next would touch it, but that's just saying not to. Cathangus, Rattle tries to touch the geode.
Cathangus would immediately stop him.
I heard the slapping noise from Clocksworth Mike, and I thought it came from Chica, implying that Chica just slapped Rattle.
My goodness, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one. Yeah.
I thought Chica made the sound. Yeah.
All right. Are you going to try and restrain? Actually, Rattle, will you willingly listen to Cathangus, or we're going to have to do a restrain check? Notably, unlike Delirium, the Aetherium is not compelling them to take it. It's just giving an open invitation. Different. So there's no wisdom save involved for Rattle in this case. Because it's not compelling them to do this. Okay. So do you want to take a wisdom save?
Wisdom save for what?
Whether or not they have enough forethought to stop themselves from touching the geode.
Ah, okay.
Basically, they're doing an intelligence check for the most part. But in this case, wisdom, because it'd more be wisdom rather than intelligence. Yeah, if you want to take a wisdom save, you can. Just to see how in present mind you currently are. Oh, okay, sure. If you just want, if you want to roll d20, you can. 10 or lower, you touch it. 11 or higher, you don't. Okay, 10 or lower. They are attempting to touch it, so if you want to stop them, Chica, you're going to have to restrain them.
What's the check?
Grapple check. It is your athletics against their athletics or acrobatics. So, Rattle, go ahead and choose athletics or acrobatics as you try to escape out of this hold. Wow, they rolled a nat 1 and you rolled a 40! Yeah, no, they very easily just grab you and manhandle you. Like, you try to touch the thing, and then you just suddenly see a hand on your wrist, and it's just yanked backwards, and they have your arm in like a wrestling pin. Like,
I'd rather you not.
it amazed you, like, for perspective, Cathangus moved so fast that they grabbed your wrist before your brain registered that they were trying to grab you. Like, Cathangus is fast. Already unfair, because how high... Well, yeah, but to be fair, if you continue doing what you did, you might have blown up the geode. And then we would all be in trouble. Either way, Rattle, yeah, this was not going to be a thing that you were going to succeed. I was pretty sure. Alright, you are restrained. Cathangus, what will you do with the restrained Rattle?
Corner.
What?
Corner.
What's boner? Connor? I don't know what Connor is.
Goddamn, I can't spell.
Corner, okay. So you're dragging them into a corner?
Yes.
Okay. Rattle, I'll let you take another acrobatics check. "13. You do not successfully break out of the hold as they are dragging you into a corner. Actually, Rattle, how much do you weigh? I need to look up how much a young dragon weighs to see if Cathangus has enough strength to drag you.
I mean, Cathangus has a 10 strength.
Yeah, how much can you lift? Can you... Yeah.
Cathangus is stronger than you think.
Oh, I know you have a couple of things doubling your thing, your carrying capacity, in particular because you're large. But
Which doesn't reflect on the map.
Right, because they were large on the other map, but they didn't make themselves bigger on this one yet. There, I made them bigger. Also, Gerald, or not Gerald, Henry is supposed to be bigger as well. Alright, so there is no official weight for dragons, so I get to come up with a number. Rattle Darkstar weighs 1 ton. Can you lift 1 ton? Or rather, sorry,
Yes.
can you drag 1 ton? Because drag is technically twice as much as you can lift.
Plus 10 strength. And then I'm trying to think of the feats.
It would be your strength score times 5 would be the base. So it'd be 30 times 5. And then it would be, you have powerful builds, so double for that. And then you are large, so double for that.
And then he's dragging, so double for that?
Yeah. And it's dragging, so double for that. So 30 times 5 would be
150, 3, 6, 1200.
Yeah, 1200. Not quite. You do not quite have enough strength yet.
Huh.
Wait,
I would have thought a
does
commoner
monstrous
could...
weaponry feat count into it or no?
Does what?
Monstrous weaponry training?
I already counted that. That's a powerful build feature. You already got a double from that. Oh, what was your question, Klexer?
I'm surprised the commoner can only lift 50.
To be fair, how many people do you know IRL that can lift 50 pounds? Like, up and over their head.
Oh, right, up and over their head. Okay.
Because this is like, you're fully capable of lifting, not you're just capable of holding it. Because holding it would be dragging, and that would more be 100 at that point. But lifting is implying you can, like, lift it over your head, no problem. So, Cathanglus, you try to drag them to the corner, and they're actually too heavy for you, which is something you haven't encountered in a while. And then you remember, Rattle's a young dragon. Which
I have a dragon form feature.
What does dragon form do? Does it do anything that changes strength?
Kind of. Well, let's see. You know what?
Also, I need to go check on your artificial limbs to see if they affect strength at all too. Yeah, Master Maker artificial. Don't you have robotic hands? Last time I checked.
Robotic paws.
Yeah. Those might affect strength. I don't know. Dragon form. Bonus action.
Number 4, you gain all the benefits of being a huge creature.
When you're in this form.
Hmm.
This is a bonus action form they can go into. It basically will temporarily turn them into an adult dragon. If you're using this feature, then you're going to end up being bigger than Rattle. Do you want to use of this feature just to drag them?
No.
Right, that's what I figured. Yes, I knew this is a thing. But yes, if they did that, it would be correct. It's like, yeah, huge is bigger than... where is Artifice? Alright, Master Maker... Osesis... Nope. They do not give you any added strength. Though notably, you do get the reach feature, so you can drag people from up to 10 feet away instead of 5 feet away. Starry
Oh.
dragons are 20,000 pounds, so it can be 1 million. That was 3rd edition, though. As far as I know, you're a young dragon, and I don't have a metric for it, so I'm just going to go, like, the weight of an elephant, which I think is, like, a ton, last time I checked. I'll double check that again, but... like, twice as much as an elephant, that's what I was thinking.
20,000 pounds was for a huge-sized dragon. You're just a large creature.
Yeah. For reference, actually, I was underestimating. I didn't realize elephants are so heavy. For reference, an elephant weighs weighs on average about 6,000 to 8,000 pounds. So actually, no, yeah, I was underestimating Rattle's weight. Rattle's even heavier than I thought. If you go based off that. Actually, yeah, that would have to be the case, because if you remember, Zokurai's armor was stated to weigh 1 ton. And I don't think Rattle weighs as much as Zokurai in their armor. That seems a little ridiculous given the fact that Zokurai is a medium creature. But anyway, regardless. Sidetracked. What is everyone doing?
I'm trying to prepare the ritual.
Okay, it's going to take you an hour to cast the ritual. So what would everyone like to do over the course of an hour while they do this while they set up this holy ritual?
I'd probably ask questions about the holy ritual that's about to happen.
Edward and Cathangus would be there to tell you.
Sure. While those questions are going on, before we get there, Ragna, do you have anything specific that you want to do over the course of these hours? Or are you just going to listen to them talk?
And I'm just gonna sit on the one of the pews there in the church and take a little nap. I'm just gonna close my eyes a little bit. You boys go ahead.
Alright, you're going to take a 1 hour short rest. Got it. Okay, Ragna takes a 1 hour short rest, and Clocksworth asks a million questions. We'll get started with that. With that, I think this is actually a good pausing point for now to go grab a drink and a snack.
Sounds
And
good.
when we get back, Clocksworth, think of a bunch of questions that you want to ask, because we're going to be doing them in session, not just hand-waving it.
Okay.
Because why not? We don't got any other plans on this session.
But yeah, I don't even know as a player what the ritual really is, so it's going to be hard to come up with a lot of precise question in advance.
Well, asking about what the ritual does, because Clocksworth wouldn't have any idea either.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, literally, like, preparing questions like, what is the ritual? What does do this? Okay, if they say this, then what? Let me ask this, you know, blah, blah, blah. That sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Basically how you prepare with glyphs of warning, but for a question instead of security.
Yes, I am till a small there. The thing
Yes?
I took is making me hard to make S's.
Sorry?
Yes, I am still in the little tiefling form. Yeah.
I can turn you back.
My throat medicine is making my mouth feel a bit like I'm at the doc. I came back from the dentist when they freeze part of your mouth. Hmm. The hell is this?
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Anything fun or exciting happen while I was gone?
No.
Alrighty. I will wait for the others to return before we get back off a break. So far, I think the session has gone pretty swimmingly. What do you think?
Hmm.
Yes, Clocksworth is still in the little tiefling form. Also, yeah, going to the quest board might not be a bad idea, because you kind of just ran out of quests. How did this say about it? Sorry, Kath, I think kind of felt like it was connected to my book. I had so yeah. Well, it's connected to the... It's kind of connected to the book. It's weird. I don't know enough about Spyro lore, Rattle, so I would not actually know how connected it is to the book or not. All I know is that book connects to time because it connects to the chronicler, the one who knows the prophecies of time. And also that the books that you're technically not supposed to have that book. Do you know why? Because time travel and time knowledge are forbidden by Ao, which is the overgod of D&D. Which is why even gods can't time travel in D&D.
Also, it messes with the timeline.
Yeah, you can stop time, you can slow time, but you can't ever travel through time. That is
Was
something...
there actually
Go ahead.
Was there actually a spell that allowed you to, like...
There used to be, but it was banned by IO. It was specifically between 3rd and 4th edition that happened. Because back in 3rd edition, there used to be spells that could mess with time. Which is why a few of the deep magic spells reference some of those old spells. Like, you want a good example of a 9th level spell that used to exist back in 3rd edition, but doesn't anymore? It was a, actually, sorry, it was a 10th level spell. It was an advanced form of Meteor Swarm, where, you conjure you open a small portal to the far future, to the moment where the sun explodes, and then you just conjure a small piece of the sun's explosion to scorch your enemies. And that was a 10th level spell that existed back in 3rd edition. Where basically you flung a portal far into the future of time to when the star would eventually explode. and then you use a piece of that far future explosion to affect the current right now in the form of a spell. It did like crazy amounts of radiant damage.
Yes, it should.
Yeah, because you basically just used a small piece of a supernova to attack someone. Which, yeah, that sounds fitting for a 10th level spell. Part of the reason why the 10th level spells have been banned by AO. Not AO, sorry, Mistra. Mistra was the one that banned those. No future, but not travel through. Yeah, so the book still chronicles time, as in you can actually read the future in the past. But you can't travel through it the way that the chronicler could. Because that has specifically been banned and just does not work. By the way, fun fact, if you try to cast a spell that's higher than 9th level, like Move Mountain, for example, even if you do all the casting correct and everything, the spell will simply fail. Because Mistra does not ban knowledge of the spells. She just bans the casting of them. And such, it will just fail if you try to cast it. I didn't figure you were going to try and time travel rattle. I just want to point out that technically speaking, you have an artifact that can let you do something that breaks the rules of D&D itself. And I was warning you not to do that. Cathangus, you've actually met the only mortal person who broke the rules of time and got away with it. You want to know who that is?
Who?
Mordrew.
Oh, no.
Remember Mordrew in the dark section of the library? The one that Rattle also met? Yeah, they're the only ones that have broken the rules on time travel and gotten away with it. Why they got away with it, I don't know, but it did. And I don't just mean that, like, out of character as a DM. I also mean in character as Nova, the god character. I still don't know. Like, he doesn't know how, either. Probably Yukari knows, because she knows a lot more than I do, but... I don't know what she knows that I don't know, so... Also, apologies if you're hearing weird noises through my mic. I have the sniffles today.
It's all good.
I've already taken allergy pills. Where is Clocksworth? Their mic is still muted. Did they say where they went? Also, I guess while I'm here, hey Sheikah, how much do you know about Final Fantasy XIV?
Not much.
Okay. Well, I recently, before the actual stream, I was taking a quiz on Final Fantasy XIV. Specifically, it was like a 27-question quiz of like, oh hey, take this quiz and see which character corresponds to you, sort of thing. And there was actually a quote on it that... Because there's one part where it was like... I think the question was basically like, pick a quote from this list that most vibes with you. But they actually use the word vibes. And I didn't know the context behind most of these. But I did find this quote in there, and this really resonated with me. And I'm curious what you think about it since we have some time anyway. Yeah, I like it too. Also, evidently, as a result of the quiz, I got this guy, which seems mostly accurate, though I think optimistic is a stretch. I'd more call myself a realist than optimist. Welcome back, Ragnarok.
Okay.
Welcome. I don't know. Cathanglis, do you accept Wild Darkstar's apology?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have the context on what that apology was for, but I assume it was for the guild. Okay. I'm glad you apologized for that, Rattle. I was not going to ask it. Oh, by the way, since you're both here, I'm going to go ahead and say while we wait for Clockwork, because of the recent stuff in Discord and me going through a bit of a personality shift recently, but it's more than just a bit, but anyway. I'm going to be more hands-off when it comes to D&D, as in, like, there's going to be less me guiding the plot and more just giving you all free reign, which is kind of what the D&D thing was meant to be in the first place, but Bingo kind of lost the plot in that regard. By the way, there will be more agency for all of you as players in the coming future, is basically what I'm saying. I don't know whether that excites you or terrifies you or anything else, but it is and is, so I'm just saying it.
It doesn't excite me, but it doesn't terrify me.
You're already naturally weird,
So-
so I don't expect anything. Yes, Ragnar?
I guess I just want to know, kind of like, I don't like my character's kind of arcs have pretty much, resolved and are completed. So I was mostly wondering, like, just because I know like this campaign is your, it's your homebrew world and everything. So I don't know, like, if there's like an the overarching, kind of plot of the
Not-
of as that goes.
There is not really an overarching
I'm just
plot,
curious,
though.
like, there is okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So
Uh,
at this point, it's more just kind of like
at this point, it's more just you're all adventuring through the world. Like, plot develop. There hasn't really ever been an overarching plot. There kind of was for season 1 to confront Lion Fang, but then that just kind of happened halfway through the season, and then it got resolved quicker than it was intended. And for that point, it's like, no, it's a sandbox campaign. It's mostly about all of you going through the world, and then me explaining how the world reacts to all of you and your actions and stuff. Think of it like Minecraft rather than like Call of Duty. In terms of, there isn't a linear story that you're following, it's more just you're going through the world and experiencing events and choosing to either change those events or not. Up to you. This is also why I said players can freely hop in or drop out of the campaign anytime they want to, and I'm okay with that because it's not a story in the traditional sense. So it's not like a character dropping out is going to lose a plot line or something. Like, there is plots for characters, but, it doesn't have to be the case. Also, Ragnar, I actually did want to talk to you about something recently. Since I got you here.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, what's up?
your character's story has been largely resolved. Which means ideally at this point we have 3 options for your character. Either one, Ragnchild can continue to exist as they are, and continue to do things, and with you having full control. Number two, you can choose to retire Ragnchild if you'd like to have her just kind of have a peaceful life, living off, like, just enjoying the rest of her old age or whatever. Or three, and I guess this is kind of branching out number two. If you wanted to make a new character to still be in the campaign, you could do that as well. And have, like, Ragnchild just go off and become an NPC, living her own peaceful life in, like, the village or whatever. If you wanted to do that. That was an option I was going to present. I know you won't have decisions right away, of course.
I'll think. Yeah, I'll think about it.
And this isn't me,
I'll think it over.
and this is not me trying to get rid of Ragnchild, of course. This is not. It's just, I'm saying that Ragnchild has kind of completed her quest. She got rid of the genie. She then, quote unquote, adventure village. She pleased the nature spirits. She has Aetherium. She's doing well. She got even some of her youth back. So, if you want to keep playing as her, you can. If you want to put her out to pasture, you can do that too. It's up to you. Just letting you know, there's always options. Like, I've told people before that if your character dies, you don't need to leave the campaign. You can just roll up a new character or wait for them to revive you. You know, and same as here with Ragnchild, like, she's getting on with age. It's okay if she ends up dying from old age at some point, if you want her to. That's only if you want her to. So, I don't care one way or the other, is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. Welcome back, Cerner.
You know,
If you didn't know the context of what I was talking about, basically, Ragnchild's plot has been. So. But, because this is a sandbox campaign, there is an overarching plot anyway. It's more just a bunch of side quests that all of you choose to go on and choose not to go on. Like, there is things you could do. Like, for example, you could go try and stop Zokurai. You could try to go join a faction. You could travel around. You could investigate the Void Ocean. You could go to space, because I said space is a thing before. You could go deep into the ocean. You could planeswalk to a different plane of reality. There's a bunch of things you could do, but none of them's required. It's just what you'd want to do. You can also just sit in a town and run an inn for the rest of the D&D campaign if you want to, I guess. Like, these are all options. And I'm just pointing out that that's a thing. And I'm just going to be more hands-off and let you all have agency in terms of where it goes. If you would like me to come up with an overarching plot, I can give you a quest to go on. I can, like, find a way to get you a main quest, quote-unquote, if you want that. But...
I mean, yeah, there's a couple of plot that can just fall on the group.
Right. I mean, Lion Fang is a planeswalker. He could show up at any time. I can have him drop in right now if I want to. I just don't see a reason to. But if you want me to give a reason, then I could. You know? I could have a meteor coming to crash to the planet. Like, literally, it's like world-ending event. We need to stop the meteor. Oh, no. I'm the one that controls it. I control the disasters that happen. So, like, yeah.
You can technically, if you want to, which would be very stupid, is summon the secret super boss for some reason. Oh.
Yeah.
Rattle is going. Rattle is going out. Okay.
Yep. Take care, Rattle. And I have mentioned that there is a secret super boss that you can fight if the right conditions are met. I've actually mentioned that multiple times before. They've even actually confirmed what it is to a few players.
Yep. That's why I've only called it the secret super boss, because I wasn't sure everyone knows what it is. So I was like, I'm just gonna leave it there. I know you've called it the secret super boss at least once before.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna leave it there.
I've called it that multiple times. There is a secret because I love myself some Final Fantasy style RPGs. So I'm gonna sneak in like an emerald weapon or something. In this case, though, I will warn you, the secret super boss is actually not meant to be defeated. It's meant to be impossible to kill. So, there's a reason why it's not a quote-unquote mandatory boss, which the only mandatory boss I can really think of is Lion Fang, which you already dealt with, potentially Zokurai now,
But
and a plot line having to do with one of Katanglus' characters that we've been hush-hush about.
Oh?
and potentially having to war with Mercantile faction.
Well, I mentioned the Zokurai thing, but yes. I will tell you in DMs.
Because my thing is, we get so powerful, where does it end?
I mean, if you know the secret super boss, I guess it ends when you can defeat the secret super boss.
Well, there is that, yes, but also there is space. There's underwater, there's other planes. There's always more power you can do. There's people to meet. There's stories to find. Heck, there's all those mythical NPCs that were mentioned in that book of legends from a long time ago. Which, by the way, I just realized I told Cathanglis about all of those, but I didn't actually mention them to Surtur, even though he read the same book.
I know there's Oral. I know there's one that's been retroactively added very recently.
Yeah. But in the one that was retroactively added recently, there was a bunch of other names mentioned.
Ah, interesting.
Anyway, Cathanglis, I sent you a DM. That DM is the side plot going on with one of your characters. Did you forget about that?
Oh, true!
Yeah, that's still a thing. I've been remembering that. I've been taking note of how long you're taking, because that's on a timer. And so I know when that one will trigger. Let's put it this way. There is a secret clock going in the background, players, that is ticking down to something. And I won't reveal what it is, and I won't reveal how long the clock is. But there is a set-in-stone clock that's been going in the background. And if Sheikah wants to reveal anything about it, they may. But I'm not going to.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. Clockwork, I sent you the exact quote I told Sheikah with all the different names in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. Also, I'm surprised you didn't react at all earlier. Also, welcome back, Wendell. I'm surprised you didn't react at all earlier when I said that there was a voice in your head that said you were always the inquisitive one.
I don't know if that was because I forgot my mic was off, but I think that was before, so... Now that I think about it, I don't know why the fuck I didn't react to it.
Yeah, because no one else in the party knows, but we both know as, like, players and DM what that voice is that I was referencing.
Yep.
But anyway, with that mystery on the table, we will... Is everyone ready to come off a break?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to ask, is Ragnar here? I didn't hear her since coming back.
Yes. Ragnar is here.
Come here. Hello.
Hello. Alrighty, where we last left off, Clocksworth was about to ask a million questions of Cathanglis while Cathanglis is trying to concentrate on a ritual. And Edward is there to help. Rattle is currently in the timeout corner.
The timeout corner.
Oh,
It is so in character, Cathanglis, for you to name it the timeout corner. let's be real here. I don't know if you did, but that would be very much something you would do in character. Back to the tavern to check on the town. Well, Rattle, they are currently doing a 1-hour ritual, so they're going to be stuck there for at least an hour. And Ragnachild is taking a nap on a pew.
I'm just curious what the ritual is. Yeah, totally. I'm saying this in character. I'm probably just going to want to know what's this ritual we're supposed to be. If I need to be here for something related to it, then I can come back. It's probably not going to take more than a few minutes. I know it's probably gonna take long in a player.
Cathanglis, would you like to explain? Or would you like me to explain?
You explain.
Okay. So, Cathanglis will explain, but I will go ahead and say it because I'm not sure if the player knows, but Cathanglis knows. Basically, this ritual will be officially binding you to the church. All of the members who are going to be bound, aka Rattle, Ragna, and Clockworth, all must be there and present for the entirety of the hour. Though Ragna taking a nap is still allowed because she is physically there even though she is sleeping.
You don't touch Granny.
She doesn't have to be conscious to be a willing participant.
Not a monster.
Also, yes, this is entirely voluntary, as in if you ever become unwilling to do the ritual, you can back out and it will not try to keep you in it. It is also a 9th level spell.
Are you trying to wake up Ragnachild? I don't...
You are...
Why?
Ragnachild is currently sleeping. She cannot hear you, Rattle, and yes, Rattle, you are currently in the corner, being subjected to the ritual, which is connecting... Actually, wait, Rattle, no, actually, you're not part of this ritual. I just realized, because you don't have Aetherium in you. So yeah, no, you're actually not part of this. It's only Ragna and Clockworth. You can leave if you want to, Rattle, as long as Cathanglis lets you.
Cathanglis would.
Okay.
I'm not a jailer.
Add that to the short list of things that Cathanglis is not.
Like I say, short. Yeah, short.
I love that. Wait, it's not short. Oh, wait, it is.
It's easier to count the things that you are not than to count the things that you are. We do so, explore the new timeline city. Okay, so Rattle just kind of leaves. They want nothing to do with this. They're too busy wanting to go explore their tavern and the city, which they can go ahead and do. Rattle, go ahead and roll me a D100, and Clocksworth, do you have any other questions about the ritual?
I guess in character I would ask why I would want to be bound to the church or whatever it was that was said earlier. But we've already established at least part of it with being able to know where the hell we are if we need to.
Right, which Cathanglis would explain that, but also Cathanglis, and this I'm actually going to have Sheikah do, explain to Clocksworth what your faith is. Because I don't fully remember what your actual preachings are.
I wrote it down. I have to remember.
I know you wrote it down. While you looked it up, I'll go ahead and say, Rattle, you find that the town is relatively intact and seems to be relatively peaceful, though, of course, there is a large commotion going on given the recent Okurai incident. Fudge, I dropped my fidget toy. It didn't fall that far. Yay. Why do I always hear that quote from Clarksworth's grandmother in my head whenever I drop something now?
What?
You know the quote of, leave it on the floor, it can't fall any further?
Oh! Oh! Oh. Because the first time I told you were like, that is great, I'm using that now. And I guess you actually did, because now you can't remove it from your head.
Yep. Whenever I drop something, especially if I say out loud that I dropped it, I always hear that line in my head, whether I want to or not.
That's funny.
Yeah. I probably confused you because I said Clockwork's grandmother, not Surtur's grandmother.
Yeah. And also it wasn't my grandmother, so it took me like 2 seconds to even understand exactly what you were trying to mean.
I didn't remember which grandparent or parent or whatever said that. I just
Yeah.
remember it was someone that was of an older generation than you in your
Mhm.
family.
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't have it written down, but I have basically the tenets in my mind.
Okay, then go ahead and repeat the tendency you have in your mind.
Try to protect the world from corruption. Preserve all you can of nature's beauty. And let the natural flow of the world stay undeterred, basically.
Let the natural flow of the world flow naturally. Kind of what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Those are the tenets, which I will point out. There is a cleric subclass that you gained, as we talked about.
I'm very high level in that, by the way.
Yes, Clocksworth is not though. But you want to know what also is interesting about that cleric subclass?
Sure.
It also doubles as a paladin oath, so it's also a paladin subclass.
Now I have 3 paladin subclasses to keep track of.
Right, but one of them overlaps with your cleric, because it's also a cleric subclass at the same time.
Okay.
Same abilities across both. It just means that whether your cleric or your paladin is higher leveled, it will scale off that one.
Okay.
Though, notably, it does mean that you can use the channel divinities from either class to cast the channel divinity from the cleric, the Aether subclass, which is interesting. So yes, these are paladin notes that Cathangus spouted out for you.
Okay.
It's a clerical subclass with paladin oaths in it. Wrap your head around that one. It works. It just works.
I mean, it's not too hard to understand. It's not batshit insane. It's not super hard to understand.
Yeah, the hardest part
So-
to understand is that instead of getting this from a divine, you're getting this from a crystal.
Yeah. Which is like, okay. Like.
Though, since Sheikah has not explained yet, I will go ahead and clarify. The power does not actually come from the Aetherium crystal itself. Rather, the clerical power that you're drawing from is the astral realm itself. As in, you get your power because... Actually, Sheikah, give me a religion check. I'm not sure if you actually know this, no, the thing I'm about to explain. I want to see if Cathangus actually knows that. Okay, 31, that's actually good enough. It was DC 30. You know how Aetherium has pseudo-sentience?
Okay.
Yeah.
Take that property and extend that to the astral plane. The astral plane itself is pseudo-sentient.
Ooh, interesting.
And the clerical power you're getting is from the plane itself, which effectively acts as your god. Because it has some form of sentience, the realm itself. And I'll remind people, The astral realm is where you are when you are not in a plane of existence, as in it is the empty space between planes. So it is effectively a more mild version of void, and it actually does eventually extend into void, but the astral part is more placid, more neutral, which, for those wondering what's the difference, the astral realm is the parts that are near to an actual universe or plane, whereas the void is the deep reaches that aren't touched by one. Like, if you just keep going out in the emptiness, you'll eventually hit the void, which is where the firm realm is.
Okay.
So, yeah. In Magic the Gathering, it's also called the Blind Eternities. But yeah, basically you're just drawing power directly from the astral itself rather than the crystal. The crystal just acts as a conduit for that power. Which, given the fact that the astral realm itself has been stated before to be magic, like literally the stuff of the astral is magic in its most pure form. This does actually give you access to a different clerical subclass if you want it, potentially, and that is Magic Domain Cleric, because I'm pretty sure that's the thing.
Me?
That is a potential option if you did background training to train a new subclass. You don't get it automatically the way you do with Astral, but you could train in it to get Magic Domain.
Oh,
Yeah. Does that make sense?
it does.
And I think there's actually a deep magic subclass that's also potentially available. Let me look it up. Is Leyline Domain a thing? I forget if Leyline Domain is a thing. I also evidently forget how to spell Leyline.
L-E-Y line? In one word, I think.
L-A-Y. 'Cause it's
E.
Leyline.
I thought it was E. Okay, my bad.
Maybe? I don't know. Lay on hands. Oh, potentially I'm wrong because I can't find it. L-E-Y. Playfield. Okay, yeah. Those are spells, though. I want the class. Subclasses. Geomancy.
God.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I was just there like, oh, well, I wish I could go help Rattle, but I can't. And I'm like, well, I have a stupid idea.
What's a stupid
And I'm
idea?
like, no, that's stupid. I was like, no, that's too stupid. Okay, you still want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was the silly third level spell that summons a duplicate of yourself for like 2 rounds.
Okay.
Because of Tiefling, you said I am part fiend.
Yes.
So if I planner binding my duplicate, does it last 24 hours?
Let me go check the wording on Planner Binding. Also, I found the thing I was looking for. Magic Cleric and also Geomancy Tradition Sorcerer is
I
available
want
as
to
a
get
clerical...
Sorcerer.
Let me finish. Geomancy Tradition Sorcerer is available as a clerical subclass for those with Ethereum in them. As in, it actually switches which class these subclass applies to. I forget if it's wizard or... No, it's actually a wizard subclass. Never mind. Either way, Leyline Wizard is available as a cleric subclass. For people with Ethereum in them. Because Leyline...
Question:
Answer.
if I already have Leyline Wizard, can I turn it into Leyline Cleric?
If you already have Leyline Wizard, it's also automatically Leyline Cleric as well.
Yes, that's because Cleric is higher than Wizard, I think, for me.
Yeah, meaning you get higher level reasons. Do you want, Clockwork, while I'm looking at Planet Binding, do you want to know why Ley Line is available as a thing?
Sure.
First off, do you know what Ley Line is?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna look up Planet Binding first then, because that'll be a bit of a tangent. Okay, the hardest part about what you're trying to do is Planet Binding has a casting time of 1 hour.
The boon, the stupid boon.
Oh, right, you have the boon that can reduce it down to an action. Okay, but then there's still the 1,000 gold piece cost.
Again, the stupid boon. There's a reason I call it the stupid boon now.
I forgot it removes material components. With this spell, you can attempt to bind a celestial elemental fiend or fey to range. Contemplation of the casting. Okay, now here's probably the stupidest question of all. Would your clone be willing?
Oh god, that's a weird question. What the hell?
And
I didn't think of that one.
Right. So, yeah, that's the biggest question, is are we going to have a polymorph willing situation, but with Clocksworth and another Clocksworth?
Of course we managed to bring it back to the first shenanigans I ever did.
Oh god, we're circling back.
Yes, we've managed to circle back to the very first nonsense moment I've done, I think.
Yeah, except now you're a tiefling.
And except now I found a way to want it a lot, and oh god.
Either way, I'm gonna put a pin in that Planet Binding for now. I'm gonna put a pin in that. Before I get launching into ley lines, right, my child, you've been quiet for a while. Are you okay? Or are you just listening?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just listening.
I just don't want you to feel like you've been overshadowed or anything.
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm good.
Cool. Alright, so mind if I go off a small tangent, everyone, explaining what a ley line is and why it matters.
I kind of asked for it, so I'm not going to.
Right, but you're not the only player I'm asking that question.
Yeah, there was just an awkward silence, so I guess I was like, I guess I'll say something.
Are you
I
both?
said E.
Okay. Rattle, are you fine with me going off on tangents, dude? Uh-oh, my TV turned off. OBS is gonna be messed up for a second. I don't mind, I'm just waiting. What are you asking about everything being alright? Because I don't know who you're asking that question to. Oh. I don't know a way to answer that question without you just interacting with townsfolk, and that's going to be weird to have like a 1 hour interaction of you with townsfolk when the main group is wanting something else to be happening right now. That sounds like something that would happen in a side session, not in the main session. Okay. So, ley lines. What are ley lines? Well, ley lines are basically natural rivers of magic. That sounds a little weird, but let me explain further. Ley lines have focus points, and magic naturally flows in a stream from one focus point to another. They basically act as like the veins or nerves of the planet. any sufficiently large physical body generates ley lines. And ley lines are in every plane. Basically, like, you know how in the continents of the physical world, how there's like those fractures that go between the continents? That separate them? You could imagine those, but for magic instead of physical space, and that's basically what the ley lines are. They're more or less the dividing lines between regions of magical effects. And also they act as the stream for which magic flows through an area, similar to blood flowing through a vein, or, you know, a river running through a canyon, for example. Most people don't interact with ley lines much, because they aren't even aware they're there. The only way you can actually see a ley line is either one, if you know what you're looking for, or two, if you have detect magic up all the time. But usually all a ley line looks like is a slightly brighter region of magic compared to the ambient magic. So even then, it's a little hard to see even with detect magic up. But
you kind of need to know what to look for already.
Yeah, you kind of need to know what to look for. But if you follow a ley line, you can find it. You can find the focal points that it actually leads to. And if you tap into a ley line, you can tap into the raw stream of power to amplify your spells. The reason why this interacts with you guys is because, remember those focal points I was talking about, which are like sometimes called snarls, but they're like big central points of magic for which these ley lines branch off of?
Mm-hmm.
Your Aetherium crystals act as focal points for ley lines.
We are moving focal points. Okay.
Right. Meaning the same principles that you use to tap into ley lines can be used to tap into your own Aetherium crystal to amplify your spells further than it already amplifies them.
Okay, I thought it was like, oh, that's why it amplifies it. No, you can amplify them further than it already does by using the ley line.
No, you are correct. That is why it amplifies it. But if you use specific techniques, you can enhance the effect it's already providing, is what I'm saying.
It's already at +2. We've joked before of like 12th level counter spells.
Right. Specifically, I will go ahead and post into Roll20 chat the second level ability called Channel Ley Line. For Clocksworth to read. But yeah, that's basically a ley line. That's the reason why this is available as a clerical subclass, is because you kind of have one in your chest now. And so it becomes easier to register them when you literally are walking around with one. This also has a weird byproduct though, and do you know what that is?
Okay.
Remember how Aetherium emits an aura?
Yeah.
That's because magic is literally radiating off of you into the surrounding environment via ley lines. Like, literally, you are a walking focal point. That means there's rivers of magic flowing off of you into the world around you. It just so happens you move, unlike a normal focal point. So they aren't steady streams the way they are normally. They're more like chaotic spurts of magic, which is why it just shows up. But the reason why the aura is only so small is because that's where it's most concentrated, to the point where it can actually physically be felt. Further than 5 feet away from you, it's dissipated to the point where only detect magic can see and feel it. Unless you know what to look for.
Okay. While you are bound to a ley line, you can channel the power of the line into your spellcasting from any distance as long as you are on the same plane as the ley line. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your... I don't know what that means.
What do you mean?
What does channeling the power of the ley line into your spellcasting mean?
There are certain spells which require you to channel a ley line to cast.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's spell specific. Got it.
I'm also checking in here to see if there's any. Well, I use spellcasting type of potential of geomancy. Okay, as wizards and use the wizard spell list. Fun fact, in this book, technically geomancers are a separate class, but they function.
Weird indeed.
Augment the power of your thing, you rebuild. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into this later, but
Okay.
basically, yeah, you can enhance spells. And there is a list of spells, including some 9th level spells in here. Because I know one of them is, I think it's literally a spell that could let you explode a ley line. Will be bad in your case, because it'll literally explode the Ethereum crystal.
How to kill myself, in parentheses, again.
Right.
I was gonna say, again.
Yeah. By the way, I actually want to point something out. Your Ethereum is a little special, Clocksworth. You know why?
Because it comes technically from defect and being soul bonded to it.
Yes, that is one reason why. But also, too, because it's in your forehead. Normally, it's in the chest. For you, it's in your forehead. Which has some weirder implications, because if you don't know, the Ethereum in your chest usually replaces their heart. That's the idea of Ethereum, is it literally worms its way into your heart and slowly replaces your actual heart over time. But in your case, yours is in your head, meaning it's starting to do that to your brain, not your heart. It is slowly replacing your brain over time.
Oh, that's going to be weird if campaign goes on long enough.
Yeah. Which will have a weird implication of if you walk into an anti-magic field, you will go into a coma because you will be brain dead.
Oh no, like Cathangless!
Yeah. That's the downside of Ethereum. You become susceptible to anti-magic fields. Go ahead.
True. What about Catanglis? I just heard Catanglis say their own name.
They said, oh god, just like Cathangless.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't know, if Cathangless goes into anti-magic field, they go into a coma. But that's for slightly different reasons than this, but Ethereum is part of it, yes. For them, it's more because they are a void being, and the void is inherently magic, so being in a realm without magic is completely alien to them. So they just literally go into a coma out of shock.
The literal extreme of a culture shock.
Yeah, which is why one of the things Zokurai made sure he did is know how to weaponize anti-magic if he's ever going to fight Catanglis. Why he was so adamant about getting an artifact suit of armor, so that way his own suit of armor would be unaffected by the anti-magic, but he could project it around him. AKA, he is pulling Batman prep time shenanigans.
Right. Zokurai is the Batman of the campaign. He literally just builds a bunch of crazy nonsense for very specific things. But if they come up, holy shit, will they work well.
Yep, and right now he's gone rogue and left the league, and that's not a good sign. Anyway. I finished with the Holy Land thing.
Okay.
I'm getting kind of tired of talking.
Yeah, same.
Alright, so, tell you what. What about I do all the stuff around Darkstar, and then after that we call the session?
Yeah. Oh, wait,
Okay.
the ritual.
Oh, do you want to finish the ritual this session, or do you want to finish or do you want to pick up next session with the ritual being done?
Do the ritual this time.
Okay. So, the ritual will be happening in the background while I am talking with Wild Arctown, because I don't think there's anything else I need to be directly involved with. I don't think so, anyway.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm doing this since Foxworth, you don't really have anything that you specifically doing right now. I'm going to go ahead and send you on a little bit of a scavenger hunt. In terms of, here is all of the leyline spells. Have fun looking them up in the compendium.
Okay.
Anyway, Rattle.
Then I guess I decide in character to just not try to plan or bind what will effectively be myself.
Yeah, I'm going to say in character, you get too distracted talking about the leyline stuff.
Trying to understand and forget the idea.
Yeah, basically. Or you literally go in character, no, that's too stupid, I don't want to attempt that. Say that in character.
You say that, but given what I've tried, it's hard to think of.
Well, on one hand, yes. On the other hand, that stuff you've tried killed you. And if you remember, you actually kind of have a mythophobia of not getting yourself killed again from your own experimentation.
Right. Granted, I had literally in my plan, it's okay if I fall to 0 HP.
Right, but that was before you died. Anyway. So, Rattle, let's get with you. So, Rattle, you end up going back to the village. And you find it's mostly okay, except for the fact that the villagers are freaking out a little bit about Zokurai. There's a general unrest. I won't say panic, but there's a general unrest, and it seems like the mercantile faction is mobilizing within the city. As in, a lot of the shops are, well, closing up shop, or are... It's weird, because, like, a bunch of the smaller shops are removing their branding, like the mercantile branding, and are just basically acting as unregistered shops. But a lot of the bigger ones are actually just packing up their things and closing their stores to leave, which has an unfortunate side effect of they're losing basically access to their supermarkets and to the open market, which is going to cause great economic unrest. And also, Rattle, it's going to make your profits go down by a considerable amount. Darn you, economics. Yes. And it's also going to give you a dilemma, because technically that restaurant is registered under the mercantile faction. So you can either remove the branding and no longer count it as registered, or you can close up shop because it's a officially registered mercantile thing. Or you can choose to do neither and just hope for the best. If you guys leave, the city profits drop badly. Who are you saying that to? A lot of the shop. Okay, so you say that to some of the shop owners that are starting to close their shops. One of them begrudgingly turns to Mount Darks and says, "We don't have much of a choice. We can't illegally do our shops, and a line has been drawn in the sand. I'm worried the Civil War is going to kick off soon." And actually, Rattle, you see a significant character walking through. There's actually a small entourage of skeletons walking out of a local restaurant, closing shop, and actually carrying a bunch of supplies. And you recognize one of them. It's Mr. Bonesley. Because, Rattle me bones! It's been a while since I've seen you, Rattle. How are you doing? Yes, by the way, Rattle Me Bones was a pun on the fact that his name is Rattle.
Of course he went for the pun.
Unfortunately, I have to, as the necromancer who revived me is associated with the Mercantile faction. He's one of the higher ups there, and he has recalled us to go back home. So, unfortunately, all of the Mr. Bonesley restaurants are going to have to close down across the country of Guardiana. I am very deeply regretful of this fact and do not wish for that to be the case, but, that's how the bones fall. I'm sure once all this conflict gets done, we'll be reopening in some point in the future. But for now, I unfortunately have to take care, my friends. Stay in touch. And with that, he started focusing again on his provisions. And you can tell he wants to talk more, but he's being necromantically compelled to continue packing up. As if he doesn't actually have a say in the matter. Alright, you're going to keep your tavern/inn open. Alright. That is your choice. You'll see how things panned out. And for the restaurants that are packing up and leaving, there is volunteers helping them, specifically some from the Luminescence. Most of them are rejecting the help of the Luminescence, but some of them are appreciating the people backing up. It seems basically that, like, the Mercantile faction is being the towns, and the Luminescence are helping them do so, as, like, possibly a show of peace. That's your best guess. That it's, like, tense, peaceful interactions before the now seemingly inevitable coming civil war. Because it seems like Zokurai really wanted to stir the pot on that one and actually initiate. Like, everyone already kind of had a suspicion it was going to happen for a while. They were just waiting for the first shot to be fired. But it seems like Zokurai has just seen that and go, fuck it, I'll do it myself, and fired the first shot. Which, knowing Zokurai is very much his sort of thing. When he gets it in his head to do something, he does it, regardless of the consequence. And oh boy, there's going to be consequences. So overall, the town is largely okay, but people aren't that happy right now. What are you going to do to attempt to cheer the people up? Give me a persuasion check. Okay. That does raise a few of the spirits, but some of them, for the most part, it seems to have only a small impact on the general mood. Most people seem to be rather glum and still depressed. But you also have a feeling that that's just going to be regardless. Though, notably, there is a familiar face that does walk up to you, and that is Charles, who puts his hand on your shoulder. Your front left shoulder. You're quadruped, so I actually specify which. Says, I'm glad you returned. Missed your presence, but It appears that you might have come a little bit too late. Don't worry, the noble is fine, and the son is completely alive, but I fear that this town may not survive for much longer, given the war that is soon to occur. Or so it would seem. We're on relatively the outskirts. We're more towards the center of the country, so the fighting is likely not to occur, especially given how strong the luminescent presence is. But you never know. I wonder what side this Zuckerite fellow is going to take. He seems to have given his lot to the luminescence, but I don't trust him. I say that, by the way, because Charles has never technically met Zuckerite.
Oh god, he hasn't.
Yeah. He's only ever met Timeline 2 and then briefly met Cathanglis. He hasn't ever met Zuckerite. So, for as far as he knows, this is some random stranger. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean saying for me? I said Charles has never met Zuckerite. You've met Zuckerite. Oh, you meant that you've never met Charles. Okay, yeah, now I get you. Yeah, okay. And Charles has technically never met you. Well. Yeah, so I won't leave the city for a while. I can get in look like. Well, that is worrying news indeed. Where are your friends? Didn't you have a group that you were adventuring with? Path. Oh. Wait. The man with that weird fellow. I can't think of how to describe them. Actually, question. Cathanglis, when Charles briefly met you, did you have the mechanical limbs at that point or not?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to know for this. So, oh yeah, that weird fellow with the 9 tails. Your mechanical. Is that one of your friends? Because Charles barely knows anything about you, but you remember that, because it's hard to forget Cathanglis' appearance.
I am recognizable!
Let's put it this way, Cathanglis stands out as much in the crowd as the protagonist in a trading card game stands out in an anime crowd.
Recognizable!
Yes. More or less, but the crystal in him does. Interesting. I wouldn't know, as I am not very familiar with dragons or magic. I am but a simple monk. I am but a simple monk and a butler. I know I will protect my noble down to the last man, and if you require assistance and are willing to help us, I would be happy to lend a small detachment of local guard to help you with matters pertaining to. I just don't know about what's going to be on. And it frankly has me worried. For those who forget, by the way, Charles Pensley is level 7. He's a level 7 monk. because he was scaled to be equal in level to what Timeline 2 was at the time of them meeting him. And they were level 7 at the time. Yeah, I'm an astral dragon as well as Pharaoh. Rattle, when you explain all that, you notice that, like, he kind of nods along, but it kind of just goes in one ear, out the other, as if he's like, yeah, sure, those are all things that make sense.
I don't believe him!
Basically, he has no idea what the hell you're talking about. And you have a feeling that if you tried to explain, it would just make things worse. I am also tired because I only got about 3 hours of sleep last night. I know I mentioned that before the stream, but now I'm mentioning it on camera for the audience in case they're wondering why I'm yawning so much. He kind of looks at you, perplexed, and tilts his head a little bit and says, "You stored the deck of many things in the restaurant? You either have an incredible amount of trust or are naive. And I'm going to lean towards the former, given I know the fact that you aren't that naive." Even then, any thief with a good lockpick can pick a safe. I'm surprised you left a $500,000 item just in a safe sitting there, ready to be stolen. Not to mention a very dangerous one. Which, friendly reminder, yes, legendary items are worth 500,000 gold pieces. And deck of many things is typically a legendary item. Friendly reminder, as always, that player characters tend to be rich compared to average people in D&D. An average worker is lucky to make 1 silver piece per day for their work. And meanwhile, just adventurers walk around with 50 gold as chump change to an adventurer.
Yeah, I think you said that to the question of why is there so much robbers.
Why do so many thieves attack adventurers? Because adventurers walk around with small fortunes all the time. That's the reason why so many cities seem like they're full of crime. They're not full of crime. Adventurers showing up makes more crime. Because they're basically walking around like nobles, except they're just well-armed nobles in terms of financial ability. Which is kind of funny to think about. But that's the reason why so many D&D cities seem more dangerous than they actually are. Even so, I'm glad it hasn't been stolen. With that, Rattle...
Yes,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, take care. I was about to wrap up
See ya.
the stream soon anyway. Rattle, roll me D100. I was about to say, yeah. Rattle, roll me a D100. When you open the safe is empty. Someone took the deck. Yeah, that is effectively what happens, Clarksworth. Charles followed Rattle in, so yes, he now sees that the safe is empty. He says, And this is why I didn't think storing it in the restaurant was a good idea. Well, if this was the noble, I would be very worried for his financial situation, but given what I know of people like you and adventurers of your caliber, this probably is not that big of an impact, rather than simply the potential danger of the cards, rather than the financial loss. For reference, my lord, the noble, only has 1.5 million gold pieces worth of property. All of his property and finances put together is only worth 1.5. That was casually worth 0.5 by itself. Meaning you carried around basically a third of my lord's noble estate with you. Left it in a ordinary safe without even a magical lock on it. Was there a magical lock? I don't actually remember. Charles seems to think there isn't, but I don't remember if there was or not. Okay. Well, it'd actually be the arcane lock spell. But yeah. Okay, then yeah, it was an ordinary lock. Either way, with that plot hook in of where did the deck of many things go, I will end the session here. Thank you all for watching, if indeed you still are. Oh, there's some final typing. I'll let the typing go in. Loki, was it you? I mean, to be fair, Zokurai can make a deck of many things. I don't think he needs to steal it. If he stole it, it would be entirely just to be petty. And I don't think Zokurai is petty. Like, a jerk, yes, but petty, no. I had said stuff to Charles. Yes, and Charles does not have a reaction to what you said. And I'm also ending the session here, so... Defeat it from being used against it. Pull us out, kind of. True, but Zokurai would also know that the deck of many things is just as much a liability for the person who draws it as for him. And also, regardless of what comes out of it, he can use anti-magic to stop it. As anti-magic even stops the effects of Wish. I bet it was Linda. I like that crackpot theory. I like the crackpot theory that Linda stole it.
Oh my god. I mean, out of all the potential
does have
scenarios...
history of I mean, she's a rogue, like, basically.
Yeah.
She's pickpockets and steals.
And on that note, I think I'll call the session. Linda did. Linda was behind everything. Thank you all for watching. If indeed you still are, I'll talk to you.